Do you know how much an intercontinental ballistic missile can weigh? You do not truly believe that the Dongfeng 31 and Dongfeng 41 are comparable to missiles like the Satan I or Satan II, do you? Then take a guess. If a nuclear war were to break out, whose ICBMs China's or Russia's would be the most feared? Undoubtedly, in the current world structure, a nuclear war is almost impossible. However, if control is lost and one occurs, the ICBM is a nation's strongest nuclear trump card. In such a scenario, not a single kilogram of weight added to it is wasted. After all, the heavier the missile, the more warheads and fuel it can carry, making the range, lethality, and deterrent effect further, greater, and more significant. Greater and more significant. Therefore, in this episode, I will take you, my esteemed viewers, on a journey to understand the top 5 heaviest ICBMs globally and see their true metrics. We will examine just how terrifying their range and destructive power are. We will also see how insignificant the Dongfeng 31 and Dongfeng 41 appear next to these super heavy ICBMs. Ranking 5th is the Trident II D5. The Trident II D5 is currently the most vital pillar of the United States. Nuclear deterrents. Should a nuclear war occur, it can be launched underwater by nuclear submarines, enabling the U.S. to conduct a second strike nuclear retaliation. However, many of you likely know that submarine-launched ICBMs, fired from beneath the waves by nuclear submarines, although lacking in some deterrent aspects, boast a greater destructive power for the same size compared to land-based ICBMs like the Dongfeng 31 and 41. Nonetheless, they face significant size constraints. This is because they must be small enough for the nuclear submarine to accommodate and launch them. It is worth mentioning, however, that due to the missile's highly advanced propulsion system and the extensive use of lightweight carbon fiber in the casing, the quantity of fuel and warheads it can carry is quite impressive. As I understand it, its length is approximately 13.4 meters and its diameter is about 2.1 meters. While it may seem smaller than our own Dongfeng 31 AG, its maximum launch weight is exceptionally high at 59 tons. This is at least 19 tons heavier than the Dongfeng 31 AG. Consequently, it achieves a range of over 11,000 kilometers. It can carry a maximum payload of 8 475 kiloton class or 14 100 kiloton class nuclear warheads. What does this capacity signify? 11,000 kilometers is enough to cover half the globe. The 8 475 kiloton warheads are roughly equivalent to the explosive yield of more than 250 little boy atomic bombs combined. If a nuclear war were to break out, and the US launched just one of these, I ask you, would you not be afraid? Of course, even though the Trident II D5 is already formidable, it is still merely a minor player compared to the truly super heavy ICBMs. If you doubt this, then keep watching. Ranking 4th is the Dongfeng 41. The Dongfeng 41 is arguably China's most powerful ICBM in terms of comprehensive performance. Whether we consider range, speed, lethality, accuracy, trajectory, or maneuverability, any single performance metric is exceptionally potent. However, to prioritize maneuverability, compromises and sacrifices were indeed made regarding its weight. Based on my analysis, excluding the launch tube and auxiliary components, the Dongfeng 41's missile body is about 16.5 meters long. With a diameter of approximately 2.25 meters, it is notably larger than the Trident II D5. Yet, its maximum launch weight is only about 63 tons. To be honest, while this weight is not insubstantial, its missile body heavily incorporates advanced composite materials, and its structure has undergone extensive design optimization. Furthermore, its propulsion system employs a highly advanced and reliable 3-stage solid fuel system, superior to that of the Trident II D5. This guarantees its substantial payload capacity, enabling the Dongfeng 41 to achieve a maximum range of 14,000 kilometers. It can carry a maximum of 1 3-megaton class or 10 300 kiloton class nuclear warheads. However, compared to those super heavy ICBMs, it is still lacking. The same is true for the Dongfeng 3 AG, another Chinese missile with strong comprehensive performance. Although every single performance metric is very potent, its lightweight design prevents its range and lethality from reaching their absolute maximum. Thus, it was unable to make this ranking. Ranking 3rd is the Dongfeng 5B. The Dongfeng 5B is China's first multiple warhead land-based ICBM. It is also the only Chinese missile currently classified as super heavy. Although it uses liquid fuel propulsion, it cannot be launched responsively, like the Dongfeng 31 or 41. Should a nuclear war occur, it requires at least 15 minutes for fuel injection before it can be used. However, its range and lethality far surpass the Dongfeng 31 and 41. As I understand it, the Dongfeng 5B's range can reach a terrifying 15,000 kilometers. From our homeland, it can cover almost every strategic location globally. The warhead can carry at least one 4 megaton class or 4 to 6 500 kiloton class destructive warheads. Its killing power is comparable to approximately 267 little boy atomic bombs. I ask you, is that not terrifying? The reason for its formidable power is entirely thanks to its massive size of $32.60 text by 3.35 text meters dollar, and its colossal takeoff weight of 183 tons. Of course, you might argue that a missile without maneuverability, no matter how powerful, would be a sitting duck if used for a second strike during a nuclear war. Theoretically, this is correct. However, you must know that the launch silo for our Dongfeng 5B is constructed from multi-layered, high-strength materials with a thickness of about 2 to 5 meters. Even if a multi-megaton enemy nuclear warhead does not achieve a direct hit, the missile, although lacking a second strike capability, can achieve a 1-1 exchange ratio with the enemy's warhead. Furthermore, let us consider that China's anti-missile system is not to be underestimated. Even for a second strike, we can detect the nuclear strike movements of global powers in advance, thereby leaving ample preparation time for the Dongfeng 5B to launch. Ranking second is the Satan I. The Satan I is Russia's R-36 ICBM. This missile was once known as the largest and heaviest missile in the world. Its length is approximately 32.6 meters. With a radius of about 3 meters, its maximum launch weight can reach approximately 210 tons. Just look at its size and tonnage. It makes our Dongfeng 31 and 41 seem rather insignificant by comparison. And that's for the Trident D5. It is unnecessary to mention it. Next to the Satan I, it appears like a mere toy. Naturally, this is also a liquid-fueled ICBM that must rely on a fixed launch silo for deployment. It possesses no maneuverability whatsoever. Furthermore, I understand the missile's casing still utilizes ordinary steel and titanium alloy shells. The structural weight is large, which restricts its payload capacity. Nevertheless, the fuel it carries is still sufficient to allow its maximum range to reach a terrifying 16,000 kilometers. Furthermore, it supports carrying a maximum of 125 megaton class, or 10 500 kiloton class nuclear warheads for strike missions. What does this signify? A range of 16,000 kilometers means it can reliably hit any target globally. The 25 megaton explosive yield is comparable to the destructive power of more than 1/600 little boy atomic bombs. I ask you, is that not terrifying? Therefore, even though some technical aspects of this missile are outdated, as long as it exists, it possesses absolute deterrent power. Then no one would dare engage Russia in a nuclear war or compete in nuclear capability. Ranking first is the Satan II. The Satan II is Russia's 28 rupees Sarmat. This is the improved variant developed by Russia to continue the Satan legend based on the Satan I. It is currently the largest, heaviest, longest range, and most destructive ICBM globally. As I understand it, in terms of sheer size, its length has been upgraded to 35.5 meters. The casing has been upgraded to new composite materials, making it not only safer and more reliable, but also significantly increasing its payload capacity. Furthermore, its engine has undergone a massive upgrade, now utilizing a 4-chamber closed-cycle liquid rocket engine. As a result, its range has reached an even more terrifying 18,000 kilometers. It also supports carrying a maximum of 125 megaton class, or 10 to 15,750 kiloton class nuclear warheads. It is even rumored that under extreme conditions, its single warhead yield could reach 40 megaton class. I trust this concept requires no further explanation. Even the 25 megaton class is already formidable. However, many viewers may not realize that the destructive power of a nuclear warhead cannot be calculated simply by multiplication. This is due to the pronounced marginal effect of nuclear explosions. Simply put, when the explosive yield reaches a certain level, such as 50 megatons and above, further increases in yield only boost the destructive ternary effect. But the ternary of destruction is genuinely difficult to expand further. Therefore, although these super heavy ICBMs boast terrifying yields, they realistically serve only as a deterrent. If a nuclear war were truly to break out, the real reliance would be on ICBMs like the Dongfeng 31 and Dongfeng 41, with their superb maneuverability and multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles.